how do you balance leveraging the digital type of content to help scale your expertise without taking away from the work you're doing live in front of a client?
Yeah, interesting point. Most of these videos, we try to keep them around 10 minutes or so that they're not just a long thing that's too hard for anyone to consume. So they're intros. They're a lot of them are 101, 201 kind of explainer videos that will introduce people to concepts, or in some cases clarify what's going on in some things, like they've heard about artificial intelligence and machine learning and deep learning and generative AI and chatbots and large language models. Okay, but where do all those fit amongst each other? If you were to draw a Venn diagram and show how do they relate to each other, what's the differences among them? So I did a video on that. And that I see a lot of people have that question. So it's a chance for me to answer that question for a lot of people all at once. I think that's one of the major things. And the fact that it's something that is very often a conversation starter. In other words, someone says, oh, now I understand what that's about. I want to drill down more. How am I going to apply that in my environment? Well, I'm not going to be able to give that as general advice in a video that's seen by the whole world if you want to know your specific environment and how it's going to fit there. One of the major questions I'm trying to answer these days is, organizations are going to be using AI, especially generative AI, and they want to know, how do I secure that generative AI? This is a new attack surface. So I did a video on AI, the new attack surface, which tries to talk about that in a general sense, but a client is going to want to know, yeah, that's all great. Now I've got a general view of what this is, but I'd still like you to come in and help me figure out, how do I apply that in my particular set of use cases? So I see them as complementary. And sometimes I'll say, look, we just had this meeting today, or you heard me speak at a conference. Your colleagues that didn't get to hear this, and you'd like to let them at least get a taste of what this is about, here, point them. Here's the list of videos that relate to the content I talked about today. And now you can kind of share that with other people that you work with. And sometimes it's people saying, look, I've been advocating for this in my organization for years and nobody will listen. And it's like, okay, then let's leverage the out-of-town expert syndrome, where, they'll listen to somebody that's not inside the organization more than they will somebody inside the organization. And let's use that to our advantage. And so here's a video. You can pass that and say, see, this guy's saying the same thing. And it bolsters your case in the organization.